3, 2, 1.
Please stand by for further details. We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Hello to those of you who are feeling called to this reading in particular, mystery reading number 1127. My name is Elizabeth, and before getting into this reading, if you are a recurring viewer, you enjoy my work, and you would like to help support it, feel free to do so by sticking around and hitting the subscribe button down below, and ringing the notification bell next to it if you feel called to. And if you do feel called to subscribe and stick around, welcome. Thank you very much for your support in helping me reach 300 subscribers at this time, as well as your presence during this reading. So I want to start this reading off saying that the number 111 could be significant for somebody, and you may already well know that this number 111 is about having trust and faith in yourself as well as the universe and whatever higher power you believe in, but first and foremost, primarily for yourself. There's a real emphasis here to trust and believe in yourself, your intuition, your strength, your ability to be exactly who you are and who you were always. Well, I don't want to say who you were always meant to be, but who you always deserve to be, because I believe we're always who we're meant to be. We're always where we're meant to be at in life, but that doesn't mean that we are who we deserve to be, or we're in a position that we deserve to be in. So I just wanted to make that distinction. I also want to talk about an index card from, well, these deck of cards, but like other cards off to the side, because I have to like pick up a certain size deck because I have a lot more index cards than just what's on the table. But this one says, I'm moving forward and I'm really trying to let go of things that no longer serve me. And I just saw a sign to trust that everything happens for a reason. So if you are moving forward from someone or something that was not good for you, maybe that brought you pain instead of joy, and you're really trying to let go of these things that don't serve you, this feels like this reading is meant for you. And you know, a lot of people might be like, well, this might be meant for me, because a lot of people are in that position where a lot of us are trying to make more positive changes in our lives because we're realizing how much of an impact we do have when we get comfortable in our own negativity. And I really want to put out there that it's not inherently bad to feel negative feelings. It's the negative actions that I believe, you know, when it really becomes an issue. When you let those feelings, those negative feelings control your decisions and ultimately your reality and the kind of impact that you have on those around you in the collective. Moving into interpreting the number 1127, there are two ones, and as we already talked about, the number is about having trust and faith in yourself first and foremost, but also having more trust and faith in the universe, what the universe knows, where it's guiding you, and what it's capable of. There could be something significant here about co-creation. I believe that the universe will always have trust and faith in us. Of course, if you have the right intentions when it comes to trust. But it's equally as important for us to have trust and faith in ourselves. I'm actually a huge believer. Sometimes I feel like it's controversial whenever I express that I feel this way, but it's like, I believe that if you don't believe in yourself, or you don't trust yourself, people telling you that they trust you or that they believe in you will not make a difference. It might make you feel better, but, you know, not until you realize that it's not giving you the motivation that you need, the energy, that you need. What's really going to give you the energy and the motivation that you need is the trust and faith that you need to have within yourself. And when other people tell you that they trust and believe in you, that's just confirmation. You know, like the source of your trust and your faith should come from yourself and, you know, the universe, whatever higher power you believe in, not another person. That's what I believe anyway. Moving on to the number 2. This number can be confirmation of a significant relationship or situation that you are dealing with right now, or that you feel like this reading might be about. It's also confirmation or guidance. This feels more like confirmation because of, you know, letting go of, you know, things that no longer serve you. It can be confirmation or guidance, though, to protect your peace and to be very wise. Very, very wise about your choices. Don't let the negativity control your choices and your reality, your karma, and your luck. You know? It's really important to acknowledge and respect how much power you do have, even if it's not as much power as you want to have. I'm also a huge believer in the idea that all we have to do is just focus on playing our part and trusting that the rest will follow. You know, you don't have to worry about others being reckless. Let the universe take care of that. You know, I want to say that's, like, I'm thinking more in the context of, like, quote, God's children. Like, that's the universe's children, not yours. You know? You don't have to be a Christian to understand what I mean by that, because I believe that we all of us are creations of the universe. And you could argue that we are children in that way. If you really are struggling with negativity, I really encourage you to give yourself the space and the time that you need to process these feelings, to figure out what to do with them, you know, in a way that works for you rather than against you, and to not make any big decisions at this time. Don't make any big decisions until you feel confident and ready, not because you feel rushed or scared. Because you deserve to make decisions with confidence and not fear. Because you deserve to have more control in your life. Well, you deserve to embrace the control that you already have. You know? Moving on to the number 7. This number is about lessons, wisdom, expanding your awareness and your consciousness, and connecting with the deeper meaning behind your own existence and this reality, whatever this life is about. It's a deeply reflective, purposeful, maybe even philosophical type of feeling or message that comes with the number 7. And I'm really feeling connected to the Chariot right now. And the Chariot it's a major arcana tarot card that's all about you being in the driver's seat and not your fear, not your darkness, your light, your strength, not your weakness. And we all have weaknesses and strengths. There's nothing to be ashamed about when you acknowledge that you may be weak in one area. Maybe it could even be helpful to focus on where you're strong at, you know, what you're good at, what you can do. You could even improve your weaknesses if you want to. It's really just a matter of choice and how you move forward. Yeah, the Chariot card, I forgot to mention, does have the number 7 on it too. So I really feel that for somebody here, your darkness, these negative feelings, this fear, does have a lot to teach you. It has a lot to teach all of us. Our own individual darkness within us has something to teach us ourselves. We can share this with others. But there's also things to learn about, you know, the darkness in the world, the negativity, the fear in the world. Especially if you're trying to better understand why things are the way that they are when it comes to governments, societies, you know, just the way that we have come to be as we are as human beings collectively. Now I'm being reminded of that song by Nirvana called Come As You Are. And I got confirmation of feeling connected to that song by seeing a picture of Kurt Cobain. Maybe there's something significant about him for you, what happened to him, or just his music, that song in particular maybe. What I intuitively feel could be interpreted from the name of that song, Come As You Are, is encouragement for you to show up as you are. Exactly what it says. Don't try to change or mold yourself to fit in a box that is too small for you. Don't shrink yourself down or make yourself feel small. And I got a little bit emotional thinking about like a lion. And, you know, being loud and proud about who you are. And it's reminding me of SpongeBob, that episode where he talks about I'm ugly and I'm proud. So maybe there's something here that you don't like about yourself that you would call ugly. And this is a call, no pun intended, to show up in that so-called ugliness with confidence. You know, do you actually believe this whatever this is about you is ugly, or are you just afraid that's what other people think? Maybe that could be important or helpful for somebody to reflect on. But adding up these numbers, 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 is 4, and 4 plus 7 is 11, and 1 plus 1 is 2. And as we already said with the number 2, and this just feels like massive confirmation that this could definitely be about a significant person or relationship or situation on your mind, or something that you are going through. Really pay attention to your intuition. You know, what's resonating here. It's also massive confirmation to protect your peace and to be very wise about your choices. Prioritize what means the most to you, including your psychological and spiritual well-being. Saw a sign that could be a warning for somebody. Now, only take this if it resonates, if it's something that you've already picked up on. It feels like it could just be confirmation for you, but a warning that somebody here could be taking advantage of a vulnerable position that you are in, or, you know, trying to put you in a more vulnerable position, and it could be through manipulation or coercion or something like that. So be aware and pay attention for whoever that resonates for. So I just saw the number 333 on the timer. And this number feels like it can be about a lot of things, like the number 2 for me. But it is about using your voice and expressing yourself. It's reminding me about what I talked about with Come As You Are, and just show up with full confidence in who you are, in the good, the bad, and the ugly. And allow the people who love you and respect you for who you truly are to find you. And be okay with being judged. And I want to say even disrespected, but not in a way where you stay in a situation where you keep getting disrespected. More of like, that happened and I'm okay with that. Just like acceptance for something or someone that you can't control. Number 3 can also be about healing and growing emotionally and spiritually, and committing to that healing and that growth. So that way you are fully able to commit to anyone or anything else that requires healing or changing as a person, or just experiencing change in general. Any situation that requires growth. Yeah, it's just a general message here, like, allow yourself to change and grow so you can be open to other situations, which, I feel like are most, if not all, that require you to change and grow, for you to improve and to, move forward and to get to where you want to be and to have what you want to have, to be surrounded by the people you want to be surrounded by, etc. But moving into the cards on the table now, we have tarot cards, and as I already mentioned, these are index cards that I made myself. We're going to start with drawing out a couple of these tarot cards, which are from the Secrets of Tarot. That could be a message in of itself for somebody, some sort of secret here. And I just saw the number 555, which is about change and transformation. What time is it? Is interesting. Maybe something needs to come to light. No more hiding, no more keeping secrets. This could be about you, it could be about someone else. But the first tarot card that I have is the Seven of Cups. And it says choices, potential, victory, unrealistic, wishful thinking, lost, and fantasy. Oh, it also says spirit, wisdom, and explore. These are the things that I wrote, as well as the zodiac signs of Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer, and the element of water. I felt connected, whenever I said the word explore, I felt connected to the word esplorare, which means to explore in Italian. So it feels like your ancestors are wanting you to explore something. This could be like some pain that you're holding within yourself. Could be a family relationship or something that is messing with your sense of security and stability. The Seven of Cups is definitely a confusion card, and I just felt connected intuitively to the Seven of Wands, which is about standing up for yourself, standing your ground. Noticing as well, there's a number 7 here, really confirming those messages about wisdom and expanding your awareness and your consciousness and becoming more spiritually in tune. Like I said, this is the card of confusion, so really there might be something here that you need to reflect on, because there's a choice you need to make, and with this choice, no matter how many options you have, it's important that you make the right choice, or that you move forward in a way with clarity. And the only way you're going to find that clarity is by really truly understanding how you actually feel, where these feelings are coming from. Is it fear? Is it hope? Is it my intuition? Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. We have the Ace of Swords for the second tarot card, and it says power, truth, success. I'm feeling connected to the word wisdom again. Begin, potential, new, self-gain, or genuine risk. We have the zodiac signs of Libra, Air, and Aquarius. No, Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius, and the element of air. The artist of this deck wrote frustrations, double-edged sword, hollow victory, and I did forget to read, I think, what the artist wrote on this card, which is all that glitters is gold, look beyond the clouds, money improvements. The Ace of Swords is like having some sort of realization or coming up with some sort of idea, and this aligns really well and so perfectly with needing to realize something or see something more clearly. This is a call to give yourself the opportunity to have more clarity, and to give yourself the space and the time that you need to reflect on something and ensure that you are not looking at things through a lens of negativity and fear, with a lack of clarity. Maybe it could be helpful for you to focus more on the light, the potential, rather than the darkness and, what you don't have or what you can't control, to help you see things more clearly. And I am going to draw one last card from these index cards I talked about. Always excited to see what comes through with these cards, because even though they seem random to me, they always seem to align really well with whatever the reading is about. So we need to talk. I pulled this in a reading recently. I think it was one of the last two. So this could be confirmation if you watched one of those readings, or whatever reading had this card, but this reading here is also meant for you. So yeah, communication here is important. And now it's like, who is we? It's personally funny for me, for something that I can't share. But who is we? Is it you and another person? You and your spirit guides? You and yourself? You and your younger self? You and your higher self? No matter where there needs to be more communication or who there needs to be more communication between, it's very clear here that it's important to think. Maybe even think before you speak. Definitely think before you act, or before you make any decision. This "we need to talk" actually aligns really well with the 333 that I saw earlier about using your voice. So, at the very least, I encourage you to use your voice in a way that helps you better understand how you feel and where these feelings, especially the darker ones, are really truly coming from. It feels like there's a truth here to wake up to, or something really important to realize, especially when it comes to some sort of choice or choosing what path to take. Overall, there's been, as there have been lately in these readings, big messages to have trust and faith in yourself and whatever higher power you believe in. This could bring you a real sense of grounding that might help you, find the clarity that you need. There's also been messages to be very wise about your decisions, to protect your peace, and to definitely realize something, to learn something, to become more conscious or aware about something, especially about yourself. Because I feel like when you know yourself better, you're going to know this situation or this person better. Maybe there's something here about mirroring, and I just slipped down the timer. I saw the number 222. So that could be confirmation of whatever significant relationship or situation is on your mind right now, to protect your peace and to be wise about your choices. Let me think for a second. Yeah, for sure. It feels like the biggest messages here are to express yourself and to be wise about your choices and ensure that these choices are coming from a place of peace rather than a place of chaos. Maybe there's really something here that you need to work through emotionally, so you can have this realization and move forward with wisdom rather than confusion or ignorance. And thankfully, we do have a card here that says, I'm moving forward and I'm really trying to let go of things that no longer serve me. So it doesn't feel like there would be that much resistance to, do exactly what this reading is here to call for you to do, which is to give yourself the space and time that you need to think through something, so you can learn something about yourself or a situation or another person and move forward with clarity, so you can move forward in a way that you actually deserve. You deserve to know where you're going. You really do.